and welcome to NewsWatch Ole Miss. We are so happy to be starting off the week with you. I'm Lisa Booker.
And I'm Fatiba, and we're keeping you in the know on all things live and local here in Oxford.
But before we dive into tonight's news, the weather lately has been all over the place.
Yes, it was rainy over the weekend and then chilly this morning, and now the sun is warming things back up. I feel like I can't keep up.
Well, luckily, we have our weather anchor, Dennis Kaya, outside to tell us more about our current conditions.
Good afternoon, Rebels. I'm Dennis Kaya with Current Conditions. It's a clear, sunny, and cold day. It's a great time to go outside and go to class. Back at the desk.
Thank you, Dennis. Now switching gears. Senators are back on Capitol Hill today. However, many are doubtful that they will make a compromise to get the government back open.
It is day 20 of the shutdown, and many are starting to feel the impact. According to Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins, the food stamp program will run out of funding in 2 weeks, which would affect about 42 million Americans.
And if you're planning on traveling anytime soon, the FAA reported that now 10 facilities across the country are having air traffic controller staffing shortages. According to the Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy, this is due to the controllers taking unscheduled time off due to not being paid during the shutdown.
We will continue to keep you updated as we learn more about the shutdown.
And bringing things closer to home, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee recently authorized the deployment of the National Guard into the city of Memphis.
This comes after Memphis Mayor Lee Harris filed a temporary restraining order against the governor to stop the deployment. However, his request was denied. The court has now scheduled a temporary injunction hearing for November 3rd. In more Memphis news, the city joined the No King's Day protest last Saturday. This was a nationwide movement opposing the Trump administration and the belief that Trump is acting more like a king rather than an elected president. The Memphis protest lasted from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. and remained peaceful.
A historic event is set to happen on campus next week. During Turning Point USA recently announced that Vice President J.D. Vance and Erica Kirk will speak Wednesday, October 29th. The event will take place in the Sandy and John Black Pavilion. Doors will open at 3 p.m. and speakers are set to begin at 5 p.m. Student tickets are still available online free of charge. However, general attendance tickets are sold out. Make sure to stay tuned in the coming days for more on this event. Now for an update on local crime. On October 14th, an Oxford Police Department detective was contacted about a possible human trafficking case that occurred in the area. After further investigation, 2 Water Valley natives, Alana McCammon, who you see on the screen now, and Bailey Prince were identified as suspects. Both suspects were charged with 1 count of human trafficking. McCammon's bond has been revoked due to her being out on a previous felony bond. This investigation is ongoing, and we will keep you updated as more information comes to light.
And last Tuesday, on October 16th, an officer with the Oxford Police Department responded to the local hospital for a report of an individual who was suffering a stab wound. Upon arrival, officers discovered that the incident occurred at an apartment complex on Private Road 3151. After investigations, Kendra Shegog, 26 of Oxford, Mississippi, was arrested. Shegog was charged with domestic violence, aggravated assault. Now in construction news, if you are tired of all the roundabout construction going on here in Oxford, Taylor has a new construction that might be a little different. As of current, there is a proposed rezoning for an asphalt plant that will be just 8 miles south of us. At the head of this development project is J.W. McCurdy, and in order for this project to continue, it must be rezoned from an A1 rural to an I2 heavy industrial. McCurdy also states that Magnolia Materials will create over $1 million payroll and will offer a modern filtering and emission prevention technology.
We've talked about workout trends here in Oxford before, like Pilates and yoga, but today we're taking a look at a new workout studio for a different kind of activity.
Let's check in with our NewsWatch reporter Ashton Lamar on a local business spinning up a conversation around town.
This week, I went to Element Cycle, the only rhythm-based cycle studio in town. Located behind McAllister's off of Jackson Ave, this studio is a space for all fitness levels looking for an upbeat, fun, high-energy cardio workout.
I moved to Oxford, I realized that there was no cycle studio in town. So that was kind of the goal and the dream behind building Element, was I wanted to have a space that felt like a community, that also brought the kind of intensity and bringing in my fitness from all the different places that I had taught. I've taught cycle, boot camp, HIIT, sculpt, Pilates, solid core, all across the board. So we kind of were able to build a brand that was completely unique to Oxford and exactly what the community needed here, completely centered around people rather than making it just about the workout. So
Element has around 10 different instructors with all different music tastes and choreography, so no class is ever the same.
I've been here since the beginning, and I honestly just find a reason to love it more and more every day. Really just the community that has been built in the studio. Everyone now, I actually just taught a class at 9, and there was like 3 minutes till class, and everyone was out here talking, and I think that's just the reason that Element has grown to be what it has so quickly.
Reporting for NewsWatch Ole Miss, this is Ashton Lamar.
Well, this seems really interesting. I've never tried cycling before, but I definitely want to now.
Yeah, I haven't tried cycling either. I'm usually not in the mood for any type of workout, so that might be my problem. But what about you, Dennis?
Well, personally for me, I used to do a lot of biking when I was a kid, and this seems pretty interesting. But around this time of weather, I'm not really sure that's good for that. For tonight, it's going to be pretty cool, but we'll get more into that right after this break.
Sometimes in life, in order to move forward, it helps to look back.
To learn from the pioneers and trailblazers.
To gain inspiration from those who came before us.
To show us what it means to act with empathy and to show that love has no labels.
Join WWE and Love Has No Labels throughout the year in celebrating people from all communities and heritages.
Because when love has no labels,
That's a love we can all fight for.
Are you a Mississippi University College enrolled junior or senior pursuing an exciting career in broadcasting? The Mississippi Association of Broadcasters is offering scholarships to help qualified college students realize their dreams. Mississippi radio and TV broadcasters are looking for the best of the best to work in a variety of rewarding positions. Apply today and learn more. Visit msbroadcasters.org and click on the Students link. Applications must be received by October 17th. Apply today.
Well, hello, Oxford, Mississippi. You're watching Weather with Dennis Kaya. We're presenting this week with a cool week that I mentioned last week. We're having some very nice temperature. For example, for today, we're having 73 degrees with clear skies and winds blowing in from the north at 9 miles an hour. Perfect day today, and it was such a nice and sunny day, too, with that perfect heat, you know. And for tonight, or not tonight, but for the rest of the entire week, or today, I'm sorry, for the region, you can see right here, if I could put this entire region on like a graph, it would be a straight line, because you can see everything here is just so consistent and nice, perfect. All the other regions are having the same similar conditions and whatever, and it just overall, it's a very nice thing to see, you know. Once in a while, you know, after the crazy weather we just had this weekend, it's good for some, you know, some normal things to happen in the sky for once. For tonight, though, it's going to be a little bit chilly, 60 degrees with some clear skies and some high winds, 18 miles an hour blowing in from the south. But it's actually good for you to sleep in the cold. So perfect time to snuggle under your covers and enjoy that cold weather. And for the rest of for tomorrow, we're going on a steady decline, 71 degrees. And again, we're having some winds blowing in from the 7 miles an hour from the northwest. And no rain, which is a little bit of a trend we're going to have this week. But we'll get more into that in just a little bit. Now, for the rest of tomorrow, on the rest of the region, it is changing a little bit, and even though there's no rain for us, there is going to be some rain for some of the regions up here. It is getting pretty hot in South Haven, but that couldn't be us. We're too cool for that. It's 73 degrees for Oxford. Now, last week I mentioned that we're going to have some storms, and I mentioned Hurricane Lorenzo, and I'm happy to report that there's no hurricanes and there's no updates to really say whatsoever. As I mentioned, Hurricane Lorenzo was coming in from the east, and it made a whole rebound back towards the east, and it hit landfall in Ireland. So as you can tell, we're not in Ireland, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. And because of that, there's also no rain either for much of the week. And if you're a visual learner, here's a visual for you. You can see right here it's pretty dry, and for the rest of the entire region of the south, there's really going to be no clouds, and there's going to be no activity that really precedes any precipitation. But for any confusion, this is just for today and for tomorrow. Things are subject to change, and we'll see right here. For Saturday, it is going to rain, and it's going to be a little bit crazy like it was the weekend that we just had. But yeah, other than that, great weather, fantastic days we're having. Speaking of the weekend, even though there might be some crazy weather, like some thunderstorms, I'm not going to let that ruin my plans. What plans do you guys have this weekend?
Well, for me personally, I think I'm going to stay inside and maybe watch a little football. But what about you, Fati?
I think I'm going to soak up this fall and just watch the movies. But enough about that. Let's talk about the world of sports.
Yeah, well, it was a busy weekend for the Rebels in all aspects of athletics, starting on the field, in the gym, and on the course. All of this and more when we get back.
This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Some people have a deep, abiding respect for the natural beauty that was once this country. And some people don't. People start pollution. People can stop it.
Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, we all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/teamup.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Macy Ivy with Sports Watch. Ole Miss football had their first loss of the season against Georgia this past Saturday. Overall, the Rebels offense was on fire, scoring a touchdown on every drive up until the fourth quarter, but the defense just didn't show up. Wide receiver Dejon Stribling had a day with 96 yards on 3 receptions, including a 75-yard touchdown. Trinidad Chambliss went 19 of 36, passing for 263 yards and 1 touchdown. Both teams went back and forth scoring each drive, but the Rebels fell in a slump the last quarter, ultimately ending the game 43-35. Speaking of Chambliss, he had a few words after the game, reflecting on the atmosphere and his performance.
The crowd got a little louder, but we were focused though. It honestly didn't affect us. I just had to be better. I had to have better ball placement in the end. Missed some throws that were crucial. So yeah, I just got to be better with the fourth quarter.
And well, blame it on the rain because Ole Miss soccer tied with Florida 0-0 in Sunday's rainy match in Gainesville. It was hard for both teams to gain momentum as the rain lasted the entire game. Taylor Prigge had a career high of 6 saves, but the Gators held the advantage in shots on goals, and corner opportunities. Ole Miss will travel to Texas for their final regular season game next Sunday, kicking off at 2 p.m., and we're hoping for no rain and more goals. Vandy football might have had a big win, but not so much for volleyball as they fell to Ole Miss 3-2. Gabby Placide led with 25 kills with a season high of 10 digs and 6 blocks, and Shayla Meyer added 14 kills and 11 digs. The Commodores took the first set after building a quick 7-1 advantage to open the match and winning the set 25-19. However, the Rebels took the next two with scores of 24-15 and 28-26. Vandy came back in the fourth with a 25-19 win, but the Rebels would eventually shut them down, winning the last set 15-11. Ole Miss will take on Texas this Friday at 7 p.m. in Gillum. As we gear up for baseball to begin again, Lafayette High School senior speaks to sports reporter Caroline Dardo about his junior success.
High school baseball, where the world of a player revolves around their performance. This is particularly true for Lafayette High School senior Tanner Harris. Harris told at the age of 6 that baseball might not be his sport. Finished his junior year with not only a state title, but the Mississippi 5A Player of the Year award. Baseball was a bonding activity for Harris and his father, his first memory being at a game.
Watching Mike Trout hit a home run, and I just remember the crack of the bat and then all the cheering. I was like, it's something I want to do.
While Josh's first memory,
blonde hair that he used to have, I see him out there running around. I can still picture him running around out there.
One of Harris's favorite moments on the field was during the North Half game against Corinth. It wasn't just a matchup, but something bigger.
It was when my niece came home from the hospital, and for my first at bat during that, I hit a home run for her.
Coach Walker says no one works harder than Harris.
Works incessantly. He hits all the time. And then there's a ton of talk about him as a hitter and a catcher. He's a really good pitcher too. But he's just really, really disciplined and methodical about the way he works and the attention to detail that he pays.
Harris is a versatile player in front, behind, and on the plate. He serves as a catcher but happily heads to the mound to strike out opponents, pitching 67 innings with 87 kills, giving him a .146 batting average against. Family runs deep in the Lafayette community.
It wasn't just me winning that award. It was basically the whole community, the team, parents, and coaches along the way that won that award too.
Most importantly, this season he's looking forward to his senior year to leave a lasting impact on Lafayette.
The one thing I would really want to do before I leave is just leave a legacy. That's what I really want to do. I want this place to say he gave everything he had.
In the dugout, I'm Caroline Dardo with NewsWatch Ole Miss.
And men's golf is currently in 5th at the Fallen Oak Collegiate Invitational, sitting 16 under for the tournament. So far, 3 Rebels are under par, while Cameron Tankersley is sitting at even, tying him for 13th place. Tom Fisher tied for 15th after finishing 4 under, and Michael Lasasso tied for 21st after shooting 3 under. Following Tankersley's final putt, the Rebels will know where they are ranked and finishing the weekend. That's all I have for sports. Don't forget to head to the square following this for the Basketball Square Jam. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Macy. Coming up after the break, we're talking to a quickly increasing student demographic.
And later on, we're talking about headlines impacting the nation. NewsWatch Ole Miss will be right back.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation, innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. They're skilled experts, discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, leading by example. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org.
Gonna be a hot one out there for move-in weekend, Ole Miss. Good luck this year, Rep.
You did it. You're home. I can't wait for you to discover the true meaning of hotty toddy. It's a cheer that connects us all to the red and blue. It's the moment that begins when you step on campus and continues long after you turn your tassel. I can't wait for you to discover your legacy and make the world a better place. Are you ready? Everyone has a ritual. That small thing to keep us focused. A habit we never skip. To clear our minds and elevate our performance. But what do you do to keep your head in the game? To drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health. Maybe you surround yourself with positivity. Or you need to center yourself. Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body. It's about taking care of your mind and mental health. Discover the resources you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. In recent years, more and more out-of-state students have come to Oxford in hopes of finding their home away from home. NewsWatch reporter Sarah Cox spoke with a local business that helps ease the growing pains of moving far from home.
Ole Miss students come from near and far. Over the past few years, many new out-of-state students have been coming to find their new home in Oxford.
Some out-of-state students feel out of place coming from so far away and may be looking for a helping hand.
I think the hardest part about coming to school out of state is being so far away from family and not being able to have that connection right away, before you make your big group of friends that feel like family.
There are businesses such as Handy Heath and more to help with students, driving them to the airport, picking up their laundry, bringing food to them when they're sick, helping them move into their new dorm, and giving students the guidance they may need.
It helps to have someone reliable, someone that you know or you've met, and you know that's the person you're dealing with, and that's who's going in to help your child. To know you've actually met that person, it's just not someone over the phone that you've talked to. Because we try to meet a lot of our parents as they come in at the beginning of the year, moving in type thing.
However, some out-of-state students find their home easily and don't need the help. Joining things such as clubs, sororities, fraternities, and volunteering at local organizations can help students easily find their place and make their own home. Having a helping hand isn't needed for all students coming into Oxford.
Coming here, it's been so welcoming, and everyone's so kind around you. If you don't even know the person, in class, someone will hold the door open for me without even asking, and it's just different from being at home.
Ole Miss has a special spirit to it. It's not only a school, but it's a sense of family.
Regardless of whether or not out-of-state students find their home here, the registration ratio has continued to increase over the year, with 56.85% of students coming from out-of-state. For NewsWatch Ole Miss, I am Sarah Cox.
Thank you, Sarah. Now for some news overseas. France might have a wee bit of a problem. That's right. In the afternoon on Sunday, they saw thieves break into the Louvre Apollo Gallery and securing jewelry that is stated to have inestimable value. This 7-minute heist resulted in the closure of the museum on Monday, and French Parliament calling it the heist of the century. The thieves used a ladder to secure their entry into the building, thus leading to the heist that actually happened to have employees and even tourists inside during the operation. Later, they escaped down the Seine River to find scooters in which they escaped on. Now, I'm handing it over to Fatih with our national news update.
Thank you, Lisa. Despite the recent Gaza ceasefire, dozens of fatalities occurred due to fighting between Israel and Hamas yesterday. In response to these recent events, Vice President J.D. Vance says that he or another administration official will be heading to Israel soon to, quote, check on how things are going. Two officials who helped broker the ceasefire deal, Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, may also be involved in helping the U.S. respond to this tenuous situation. This Sunday, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth announced that the United States military attacked another boat officials believe is involved in drug trafficking. The boat was affiliated with a terror group from Colombia and had a large amount of drugs on board. This marks the 7th strike by the United States military against suspected drug smugglers in the Caribbean.
And passengers aboard an American Airlines flight this weekend were in for quite the ride as Flight 2662 blew 2 tires on their way from Houston to Chicago. Passengers said several people screamed after hearing the pop and stated the plane bounced during the landing sequence. The plane landed safely with no reported injuries, but it is still unclear what exactly caused damage to the tires. This concludes our national news update. Back to you at the desk, Lisa.
Spotty. Now coming up after the break, entertainment anchor Cassidy Rickley has the details on some closet must-haves, and later on we're talking about the little creatures that have taken over the world. Stay tuned for more NewsWatch Ole Miss. We'll be right back.
And just like that, she starts to grin. A special flame's been lit within. The spark of something new begins. There's something in the water. On her own, she's in the zone. Determination can't be thrown. Resilience building in her bones. There's something in the water. With her gator on and her waders on, she can tackle anything till dawn. There must be something in the water. On and off the boat she flies. The sky's the limit. She's soaring high. She's a force of nature on the rise. There's something in the water.
Just try one. If you don't like it, it's easy to give up.
Uh-oh, nicotine. I'd better move fast. Up and away!
Go on, kid, go on.
Superman, is it hard to give up smoking, or is it easy like nicotine says?
You no good windbag, nicotine.
No, Superman. Leave me one. Please, I need one. Just...
That's how hard it is. And that's why I never say yes to a cigarette.
How to know if you should reach out to a friend. Your friend might be
worried,
sad,
grumpy, angry,
stressed,
weird, rebellious, anxious, antisocial,
lonely,
sleeping less,
sleeping more,
eating less, eating more.
Look, there are a lot of things to watch out for, but you know your friend best. So if they're not acting themselves, why not say something? Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org. Awkward.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. Everyone knows if Mississippi weather is one thing, lately it's unpredictable.
Entertainment anchor Cassidy Rickley has everything you need for your college closet.
Thanks, guys. I'm Cassidy Rickley, bringing you more fashion, and this week I'm giving you some closet must-haves. These tips can be useful for anybody, but especially the incoming freshmen that don't know what to pack. When coming to Mississippi, I was under the impression that it was going to be on the warmer side most of the time, and while that is the case in some months, there are some colder times here as well. Starting off, as we know, in the hotter months, it gets really hot here, so it's good to have some skirts and dress options. I like the athletic ones because you can go to class in them, they're comfy, and it still keeps you looking cute and stylish. More with the warmer weather, I would definitely make sure to have a variety of different shorts, whether that's athletic shorts, jean shorts, or different style that you prefer. As we dive into the colder seasons, the weather can be unpredictable, so I would recommend having some lighter sweaters to quickly put on over your outfits on the days that it's colder in the morning and warmer in the afternoon. So you can take it off as the day gets warmer. Now moving on to pants, with the weather being all over the place lately, it's good to have some leggings, jeans, and sweats, and for all the options, you could pair them with each other to mix and match, whether it's leggings and a sweater, jeans and a top, or an athletic dress with a sweater over it. You're able to put together cute outfits for any of our seasons here. I'm Cassidy Rickley with your guide to fashion.
Well, that's all we have for you tonight. I'm Lisa Booker.
And I'm Fatih Ba with your latest news.
And I'm Dennis Kaya with Stormwatch.
And with Sports Watch, I'm Macy Ivy.
Thank you for watching NewsWatch Ole Miss, where we keep it live and keep it local.
Be sure to tune in tomorrow at 5 p.m. Good night.